MrYorkieLoverFitness.com.
My first question is the same question I asked Nicole Wilkins yesterday. Are we going to make a 5 this year?
Oh, absolutely.
Alive for 5, baby.
Absolutely.
Alive for 5.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
My second question is the first question I asked Jay Cutler, which was, a lot of us today can go to buy like a Muscle and Fitness magazine or a Flex magazine and see your workouts and like see like your program, your eating and everything. But what about like the first 2 years, the first year or as a beginner? Because a lot of, like me included, a lot of us are beginners, and like in our first year or second year of bodybuilding. And so if you could just elaborate like how you were lifting in the first year, second year, like, how was your food and stuff like that?
Thank you for your question. I actually, on my website, I actually have some sample workouts that are workouts that I actually utilize or pick and choose from the Bodybuilders Encyclopedia, you know, by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Some of my favorite workouts, I put them on my website, so that's one avenue. I'm also creating a social media app that should be, probably say the next 2-3 weeks, it should be available. And one of the things that we'll talk about on that app is having listed workouts, not just for the intermediate or the advanced. We all had to start somewhere, right? Essentially, what you gotta do is realize that it's the technique, the tempo, and the time under tension. See, if you think about it with purpose, everything you have with purpose, as a beginner, you will be intermediate and advanced in no time. It's the people that are going half-ass, trying to impress their friends in the gym, improper form, just to show some weights up. Because I see a lot of guys, you know, you see a lot of guys trying to do these workouts and stuff, and they're trying to go too fast. And because of that, what happens? No gains and lots of injuries. You can't do that. So I encourage you to, you know, browse the internet, but I will have certain stuff. I already have it on my website now for that type of training. For techniques, outside of these magazines, YouTube is a great resource. It's an awesome resource. You can find out like the actual, you know, movement itself on where you need to be. But we have to be honest. There's a lot of free weights and a lot of machines that will help us with these various goals pertaining to our different body structure. So keep that in mind as well.
Hi, Phil. So this is my non-bashful question. I know that a lot of bodybuilders get asked if they prefer free weights or machines. I was just wondering if you ever lift people. And my second part of the question is, can you curl me?
I could. I won't. One of the things that sucks being a pro bodybuilder, especially at this level, is I can't do some of the fun things I used to do because if I risk injury, I'll lose. I mean, maybe if you're a Ty Green fan or something, they would want me to lift it and get hurt. but no, seriously, I could. You're light as hell. I can turn it. That's no problem. That's no problem. Thank you.
Hey, Bill. For someone who lifts weights and runs a lot of half marathons, how many miles of running would you say is too much?
Well, what's your goal right now? I mean, are you trying to gain a lot of muscle or what?
Yeah, gain more muscle.
I think that because of you doing these marathons, and obviously you have to build with, as far as your road time, your diet is going to be key. You're going to have to realize that your diet, you're going to have to be on top of it. You may have to end up eating six to 8 times a day. With that said, you also have to consider your digestion, making sure you're getting a lot of digestible enzymes to process all those proteins as well. You don't want to be a muscular runner at all. It's going to change everything. I mean, I ran in Generation Iron a half a mile, and they were surprised I was able to do it at 7,400 feet, but there's no way I can do a marathon. As a matter of fact, I commend you on that because that's one of the things on my bucket list. So after I'm done bodybuilding, I told myself in 2030, I'll be doing my first 5K, and then I'll go up from there. But I'm going to have to strip down a lot of the excess weight. Because I weighed 160 pounds coming out of high school. And I weigh 275 now. So I would have to strip a lot down. But for you can always get a little bit better, making sure that you're eating more protein per meal, not being afraid of carbs, training, more functional lifting to strengthen up legs and, maybe not your arms as much because you don't really need that to run, right? But, different calves and arms and this and that.
Awesome, thanks.
Hey, I have two questions. When you're in a cutting cycle, what are your macro goals, like as far as protein, fats, and carbs?
I keep everything 50, 30, 20 throughout the year. Throughout the year. 50, 30, 20 has always been my staple. I can do 40, 40, 20. I always try to focus on high protein, moderate carbs, and low fats. That can also change throughout the prep, just depending on how I look. I think one thing that he touched on that I'm going to bring up real fast is, we've all heard of an off-season diet, right? Like a bulk, right? Now during that bulk, you guys probably don't do this, but you should find out what doesn't work. Because anyone that does contests, I end up getting all these emails and saying, well, what do I do for prep? And I'm like, well, did you just have 8 months of off-season? Your job is to find out not just how many calories you can put in, but what kinds works for your body to yield X results. So for instance, there's red potato, white potato, sweet potato, red potato, all this stuff. White rice, brown rice, quinoa, like all these things. Egg whites, turkey, steak, chicken, whitefish, salmon, red snapper, all these other things. You have to figure out what each protein, carb, and fat does in unison to yield certain results. If you can focus on that during the off season, it's actually pretty easy.
Then I have one more question. If you could travel back into time, what part of your life would you travel back in time to, and what would you change?
I don't think I would change anything. I like being Mr. Olympia. I'd probably change something and screw up and not be where I'm at. I would love to see, if I could just take a glimpse, I would love to see like all the ancient stuff that was built. I would love to see like the pyramids. I'd love to see like all these wonders of the world, like when they were built. I think it's like all the Mayan sculptures and all that stuff. I would love to be able to say I saw that, because I don't know if I'll be able to see some of that just because some aren't here anymore, and obviously I travel. I don't get to see all. I get to travel a lot around the world, but I don't really get to see a lot of majestic stuff. So I would love to be able to see meet certain people that were building those things. Like, could you imagine meeting the people that made David over in Italy? Meet Michelangelo, meet all these people that made the pyramids and all sort of stuff. It'd be pretty impressive.
Hey Phil, you kind of touched on the last question, you kind of touched on what I asked. But in your earlier career, when you were doing shows before the Olympia, and you were after the show, you're off season, when you decided to go to the bulk, would you incorporate like fast food for more calories, or would your bulking diet be all clean but a lot? Some fast food, some not?
I think of that type of loading as a mistake. A lot of people like to. There was an article that Ron Harris wrote about me and muscular development pertaining to cheat meals, right? And what he was basically paraphrasing is my idea of why they're not good. When you're doing a prep, it's almost like you're doing this because you feel like you're owed something, but you're failing to realize that it's supposed to serve a purpose. I'm so terrified of doing a cheat meal during a prep because the last thing I want to be thinking about with hardly any clothes on is, damn, I shouldn't have had that cheeseburger from McDonald's. When all I had to do was maybe ingest more fats like an avocado or more almond butter or steak or have a high carb day. You can still do that. It's obviously harder to eat 1,000 calories of clean food than junk food. And you have to keep one thing in mind. Digestion. That nasty food after not eating is going to sit in the stomach for way too long. That's key for bodybuilding. That's key for health and wellness. You don't need that bacteria sitting in there for hours on end or days on end. So after a show, yeah, you can, like after the Olympia, what I do is, I don't sleep after the Olympia, but real quick, I usually go to the Pepper Mill out of Las Vegas and I order like 5 different items. That doesn't mean I eat all of them. I just pick off of them and taste it and then throw it and then share it with everybody else. And sometimes that's better, like after contest, just so that your mind's realizes that, yeah, I had a little bit of that. Now I'm moving on. Because if you don't, I mean, not good. Especially for you want to maybe compete or whatever, if you compete. I don't do them. I can probably count on these two hands in the 12 years I've been competing of how many cheat meals I've had during the prep. Now, off season, I mean, yeah, am I going to lie and say I haven't had a cheeseburger or fries or soda? Absolutely. But I do understand that that is not helping me achieve my goal. I'm not going to put this in my mind and say, oh yeah, I just need to get 800 calories and I'm fine. For me, mentally, I don't believe it because out of those 800 calories, how many of them are protein? A lot of them are fats, trans fats, saturated fat, high sodium, things that are not going to help me be a champion. They're making me do one more, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'll be at the Gift and Nutrition booth, so.
Hi, Phil. First of all, I want to congratulate you on being an awesome Mr. Universe, Miss Olympia. And not only that, but your eloquence is being able to carry the sport. It's very important because when you pump iron and you need to be able to be eloquent enough to get the message out right and important. But my question to you is, I mean, you got a great attitude and outlook. Did you read any special books or audio tapes to create that attitude?
No. I just think that as time has gone on, and I appreciate you saying all those nice things, I think as time has gone on, that once I started being successful at certain things like in high school, I just kind of let that steamroll a little bit. Now in college real fast, I did not have the best college career that I wanted playing basketball, but I was interviewed by the Seattle Times when I was growing up, and I had just signed early as a top 100 senior to go play basketball, and they said, well, hey Phil, you think you're gonna make it to the NBA and do this and that and the other? And I said, well, I'm pretty short and I don't know, but I'm gonna be pro at something. And I'm just very blessed and I'm very thankful that I kept that in my mind and I was willing to say it out loud and to not let my talent go away. So over time I just gave it that. Again, in college, I was sitting the bench, man. I mean, it sucked. But it didn't negate me from still practicing hard. I still came out as a better athlete. And then a new door opened. See, when that new door opened, I was already ready for bodybuilding because I already knew what time management was. I already knew about organization. I already knew about all these little things that don't get heard of. All we hear about is talent with sport. You don't hear about what goes behind it. See? They don't hear about like when you're pissed off and you just say, I'm going to show him, I'm going to show him, I'm going to show him. I kept coming back. And over time, I was like, I'm going to get mine. And I'm going to be rewarded for it. And that's what happened with bodybuilding. I was winning these shows and then I just started getting more excited. And training hard, training smart, having fun. I made it fun. And I continue to make it fun. And I'll be honest, it ain't no speech. You guys make it fun for me right now. Because at the end of the day, I've already won 4 Sandals, okay? If I retired tomorrow, I'd still be one of the best of all time. On paper, it would be noted, right? I'm resetting it to 0 right now. Because I want to do 4 more. And then reset it again and see if I can break that. See? Because I gotta be positive. What's the other choice? Being a loser?
Feel quickly to finish it off. A lot of athletes use visualization to improve their physique and performance. Do you do it?
When I was a kid, I heard about that from O.J. Simpson. They asked him back in the day when he rushed for over 2,000 yards, how did you do it? He said he thought about every permutation, meaning every possible scenario of what could happen when the ball was high, and all the different plays. Different guys not missing their blocks. Different guys hit their blocks. What would he do? Visualizing him going through all these obstacles, and then he was able to run, right? And it's subconsciousness. For me, it's kind of the same. When I'm on my way to the gym, I already have in my mind what I'm going to train. I already have in my mind that what I want to accomplish. I'm very, very confident as me hitting these weights and knowing that when I'm out of the squat bar, underneath the rack doing some presses, I say, we're going to get 10, but if I feel good, I'm going to get 13. See, I ain't going to just stop here because I'm willing to go further. Because I've already thought about it in my mind. And I don't care about what my teammates said or my friends said, hey man, go a little too hard, man. No, it's because I want to go further. That's why I go hard. And I've already seen this. So for me, like when people say, like, how do you feel getting ready for Mr. Olympia this year? I've already saw it. I think about it all the time. I thought about it the day after I won, the fourth one. These guys trying to think about the first one. See, I'm already reminding myself that I've already done this. And being excited to do it again, I'll tell you what, there is no fear now. So all I have to do is be excited. What's the alternative? Being sad when I won? Being afraid? No, don't never be afraid. Why are you being afraid? You're being fearful of something that ain't even true. It's like the damn boogeyman. Anybody get beat by the boogeyman? No. You got hit by the boogeyman? You still here? No. But seriously, you're afraid of the dark because something's in your damn mind thinking the boogeyman is going to come out. It's like success. People are afraid to go after it. Well, why? Just go for it. What's the alternative? Being second place? Second place sucks. You told me the second place sucked. To me, second place is horrible. Because then you're thinking, damn, I'd rather be 10th place. The second place, you're thinking, damn, man, I was that close. But you know what? This much is like you not focusing on the little things that could have got you that damn win. Those little things. Ask the damn Seahawks.
Hey, thanks, Phil. You got the mind of a champion.
All right. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. We got to get going. I got to get back to the booth. I'm sorry, guys. But I'm going to sign a couple things. And I just really want to say thank you all. This is a great year. Great way to start off my year. I hope it is the same for you. I hope you guys have been able to see all your favorite athletes and whatnot. And, you know, it really means a lot for me, for you guys to be able to sit here and listen to my perspective on winning and wanting to be successful. And I hope and pray that each and every one of you walk away with something positive that you can take into your world and make sure that you give a damn about your achievements, no matter what anybody says. Thank you.
Yeah.